Okay, so I posted a tweet earlier today that I'm sure you've seen, or maybe you haven't seen it. I don't know. Some of you won't follow me on Twitter, but Time Without an Hour. Thank you. Let me just get rid of that. There we go, though. Sorry. Thank you for the sub, though. Time Without an Hour. All right. So I posted this tweet where I said, Brent and I currently do not have an agreement for 2022 with Overwatch League, marking the end of our 4 years as broadcast talent. We wish the league and our colleagues the best of luck for Overwatch 2. And I followed it up by saying we've been there since day one, called some incredible moments, and we made the broadcast better where we could. We'll still be around with Pat Chat or co-streams and working other freelance broadcast work in esports. You won't be rid of us. So, yeah, that was what I tweeted earlier today. And people have been very kind. I'm sure I haven't read everything, though. But I imagine most of it's kind. People tend to be. But I didn't post this just to, farm engagements or anything, or lament or look for pity or something. But it's the beginning of 2022. And the reason I wanted to put this out there is that I'm going to be looking for other work in 2022. So it's not some mad negotiation tactic, even though, it could potentially make sense as one, but it's just, we wanted to make sure that if anyone was looking to sign us or one of us to either standalone events or whatever, that they knew that we weren't tied up. We didn't have prior engagements for 2022, so we can explore other things as well. So, is there a world? So yeah, let's tackle that question first. Is there a world where you could sign an agreement though? We haven't closed the door on Overwatch League for 2022, but we also, I'll speak for myself here rather than for Bren and myself, because for all I know, Bren might have done something different to me behind the scenes, but the last time I spoke to Overwatch League was at the beginning of December, like while I was doing the Valorant Champions co-stream, and I got an offer, but it had a time limit on it, and I wasn't prepared to sign that offer for a number of reasons, and then haven't been in touch with me for another month and a half. So I'm at this point when I'm back home. 2022 is kicking off. Valorant's beginning, for example, which is another game that I was planning to get into that whether I was doing Overwatch League or not. I've been doing Overwatch League and Valorant at the same time for the last 2 years at this point. But anyway, it's just a point where I have to, make it known that I'm not currently tied down at all. So yeah, we are not in current even negotiations with the Overwatch League. It's not a negotiation ploy at all. But it's not out of the realms of possibility whatsoever that we could work with the Overwatch League. Could we do something involved with Plat Chat? Yeah, maybe. Like maybe they want Plat Chat to do something, or maybe there's like a sponsored segment that they want to bring us on for one day, or like a guest spot on the desk. Yeah, we might do some stuff with Overwatch League for next year. But to me, it just seems unlikely that we're going to be involved for 2022, because this has never happened before. Like the negotiations don't normally like break down in this way. So I'm anticipating not working for Al next year, at least as official broadcast talent, which that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years. I've been doing that since 2018. So it's going to be a big move. So yeah, it's going to be a bit weird, but I think it's also going to be interesting to try out some different stuff. I've got tons more time to try and work on Plat Chat stuff and take that to the next level, and then also just focus more on Valorant content as well, and doing stuff like the Overwatch League co-streams if I want to do them. If I want to do a co-stream on my channel for a stage finals or something, then I can do that. So there you go. Would the offers not change with Microsoft being a component now? No. The Microsoft thing is way higher than Overwatch League, guys. I mean, I'll probably do a video about the Activision Blizzard acquisition by Microsoft, but that stuff is so far above our heads that it's unlikely to affect any of the day-to-day, in my opinion, of stuff that happens during Overwatch League at all. So yeah, it's very unlikely to change anything. So yeah, and I think hopefully Overwatch League uses it as an opportunity to promote some other talent that people are excited to listen to. Hopefully they're not just downsizing or something, but I really have no idea about their decision making and why they weren't interested. I don't know. It was a very strange year this year. They just didn't really seem bothered about it, so we bounced. But there is other talent though in the Overwatch scene. I mean, you're saying other talent mod check, but there's a lot of other talent that's been just kind of hanging around the contenders level too for a while. I mean, the one that springs to mind, you got people like Lemon Kiwi and Leg Day and stuff like that. I mean, if there hadn't been openings on the talent roster previously, you would have never had people like Jaws get into the league. And for my money, I think Jaws play-by-play casting is up there with some of the very best. And not that I ever say in it, but I hope he returns to that role for Overwatch League. So I'm not trying to leak whether anybody is coming in to fill our spot. I really have no idea. But it's a possibility that they might promote somebody out of the contender system or something like that. It makes sense. So, yeah, it's an interesting time though for Overwatch League. I mean, heading into next year, it seems like a big year for Overwatch because you've got Overwatch 2 kicking off. In theory, Overwatch League should be a massive part of that marketing. And Overwatch League has never had that position within the Overwatch ecosystem before. I think a lot of people on the outside, I saw Avril tweeting about this actually recently too, which was Avril got annoyed, I think, at somebody on Reddit saying that one of the some part of the reason for the delays in Overwatch 2 development was because of Overwatch League. And he was like, you guys don't understand at all how the company is structured and how Team 4 allocates their time. Overwatch League is, and has always been since 2018, quite a separate product that doesn't really coordinate particularly well with the Overwatch dev team. It has gotten a lot better over the years. In 2018, it was pretty terrible at being able to coordinate stuff like patches and announcements and that kind of stuff. It's a lot better now at being able to get that stuff on track. But it's still never been... Some esports, some developers view their esports ecosystem as a marketing tool for the game overall. You know, we'll use Valorant as an example. If a ton of people end up watching Valorant and it becomes cool to watch Valorant, then maybe it becomes also cool to play Valorant as well. And so you're using that as a marketing tool to hook people back into the game, and not even to just attract new players, but to keep people engaged with the game as well. And that's something that Overwatch has never really done. The Overwatch League has not been front and center in terms of marketing for the game. And yet, coming into 2022, it seems like, from the outside at least, and I am on the outside, I don't know about this stuff, but it seems like Overwatch League should have quite a prominent position in terms of the marketing. Because you've got Activision Blizzard releasing their big new release, Overwatch 2, and as far as we know, people aren't going to be able to play it before you can watch it. The first time people are going to be able to get any kind of hands-on experience seems like the wrong word, because it's not your hands, it's eyeballs-on experience, is potentially going to be when the Overwatch League launches. Now, maybe they sync it up with some kind of open beta. I hope they do, but there doesn't seem to be any word about that. So it seems to me like even if you were going to do like an open beta, you would want to try and sync it with Overwatch League viewerships, a little like Valorant's Twitch beta marketing, where watching Overwatch League gives you a key to play the game, even if they were going to have hands-on access at the same time as Overwatch League. Either way you slice it, OWL should be a major marketing component of Activision Blizzard next year, which is a different situation to what it's ever been. And that to me also just introduces some ethical considerations too. I mean, this last year has not been easy working for an even more hated company than usual. People around esports don't like Overwatch or Overwatch League anyway. There's a reason why people who are all-star broadcast talents like Uber, like Mitch, don't win awards, and it's not because of the lack of talent. It's because Overwatch is not considered a premium game or a game worth giving those kind of accolades to. Like, for my money, Mitch is absolutely one of the best in the entire scene at what he does. But the eyeballs on the product, it's kind of, it's like the child's game off on the side. So not only do you have that element of people not being interested in what you're doing, but it's also the added element of working for a company, which I didn't know that this was going on, but you'd have to be living under a rock to not realize it throughout 2021, that it has all of these deep-seated issues in terms of the culture that was in place for like a more than a decade at Activision Blizzard. And so that's one thing when you're working on a small portion of it, where Overwatch League itself is run by, or was run by, really good people. Love like almost everybody I've worked with at Overwatch League. You never love everybody that you work with, but I love almost everybody that I work with at Overwatch League, like 99%. But that's one thing when you're working on a product that's a small part of it. But if you then become like a big marketing tool, the voice of their next big release, to me that has very different concerns attached to it as well. And that's something that I've been thinking about over the last few months too. Yeah, it's Mr. X. It's Mr. X. That's who I don't like. Just made a company with him. So, yeah. Jake beef? No, Jake's lovely. Jake's a lot of fun to hang out with. I'm not going to go through everybody that I've ever worked with at Overwatch League and have you ask me whether I like working with them or not. Fuck off. So, but yeah, that's another consideration. The other part to that too that I alluded to in what I was just saying is that people are moving on. There's not the same. The people who worked in Overwatch League in 2018 are not the same people who are working in Overwatch League in 2022. I think two of our producers, who I absolutely love and will be gutted not to work with next year, are remaining, as far as I'm aware. I think I'm right in saying everybody who worked directly above me in terms of talent stuff is no longer there for next year. I might be wrong in that. There might be like one person sticking around, but there's been some major staff overhaul at Overwatch League. Like John Spector moving away, I think is a real big loss for Overwatch League. I think John Spector's fantastic. But also even the people that you guys didn't know who were just working behind the scenes involved with the talent. You might have seen us like tweeting about a guy called Chris Jansen, just a fantastic human being who was involved with talent management at Overwatch League. He moved on. He's no longer working there as well. And like the people who I was negotiating with, or like my direct boss, if you want to put it like that, no longer works there. The previous bosses that I was under no longer work there, that I was working for in 2018 and 2019. So it's just it's a very different company with different people now as well. So it feels like a decent time to move on to other stuff too. Yeah, hashtag Jansen worldwide. And no, that's not because of the Microsoft acquisition. It's because of a range of different stuff. I mean, there is just large turnover generally with people's work, right? Like a lot of people, I don't know why this is particularly the case within companies, but it is the case. And I'm not just saying this about Activision, but if you're looking to get a promotion or a salary increase or something like that, most of the time people will move jobs in order to do that rather than work their way up internally. I don't know why companies have created this ecosystem. I don't know whether it's deliberate or what, because it seems like it would be much better to promote internally if you could help it. But not just in esports, but all across the board, if people want a move up in their career, then normally that includes moving to a different place. And so I think there's been some of that, some of the cultural stuff within Activision Blizzard, and some of a range of different other factors included, as it is in this as well. It's not it's not just one thing for next year. yeah, and esports has a lot of turnover. It does feel like Overwatch League has more turnover from the players to the staff than other places, but that might just be because I'm involved with it, so I see it. I don't know what the turnover's like at fucking ESL or something. I think it is pretty status quo. So, yeah, that's those are some of the reasons anyway why I don't think we'll be working with Overwatch League for next season. So what does that mean in terms of you lot? Well, you almost certainly won't be hearing me as official broadcast for Overwatch League in 2022, but I am very down to do co-streams for large events, like stage finals or big hype matchups or something like that. I'll still be following the league, admittedly at much less of a level because I'm not doing constant broadcasting for it, but I'm going to be following it to a degree where I can still contribute on Platchat, right? We're still going to be doing the Platchat Overwatch show. So, Jonathan's still going to be involved. Matt's still going to be involved. We're going to have, like Avast and Brent and myself and other guests that we have on all the time. So I'm still going to be doing that. So I'm still going to be keeping an eye on what's occurring within Overwatch League. And maybe doing some co-streams. Maybe we'll do some Platchat co-streams, stuff like that. I'll also be doing just other shit. Like, I'm looking to try and pursue more interviewing work. I really, really love interviewing people, and it's something that's definitely taken a back seat since joining Overwatch League. Overwatch League has always had their own interviewing people, and they've been excellent at it too. And I've had to, in a lot of cases, are required to have bi or multilingual aspects to their interviewing, which I could never hope to come close to. Especially Danny, who's been working all year with the desk work and all of the interviewing stuff and doing the Korean translations for so much stuff. I mean, that is just a nuts job. That is an absolutely nuts job. So yeah, it's just something that didn't make sense for me to do while I was at Overwatch, and it's not something that I ever pushed to do either. But it is something that I enjoy doing. I love doing the Platchat interview series I do. I really enjoy doing the live interviews when we do Valorant co-streams as well. And so that's something that I want to do more. Also, interviewing is something where you don't have to be as deeply ingrained into a scene in order to do it, whereas commentary, especially color commentary, you have to know your shit you have to know a lot of stuff and be very in-depth with any movements in the meta or player roster changes and stuff like that. For interviewing, you can get up to speed a bit more quicker as you jump into different esports. So I might try and do that over the course of 2022. Really push myself outside of my comfort zone and do some stuff that's really different. Like, I don't fucking know, like Rocket League interviews or something. I'm just spitballing there. But, like a game that I've never done before, I might try and push to do some interviewing in a completely different title because I enjoy it. And then I'll just be doing much more regular streaming as well. Streaming, YouTube content creation as well is something that I really want to push across 2022. Like trying to take a lot of the VOD review content and then boil it down into a 20-minute video, something like that, and throw that up on my YouTube is what I'm looking for in 2022. So yeah, that's the plan. Casters to Masters won't get a revival. Well, here's the other thing too. I haven't really been enamored with playing Overwatch on stream recently either. I don't think to me, Overwatch has never really gripped me as a game to play that much. In terms of the games that I've been heavily involved in since I picked up a PC, I sunk 8,000 hours into TF2. I was very into TF2. And then, I don't know how much I played of Overwatch, but I haven't played a huge amount of it. And then I've sunk a lot of hours into Valorant, considering that it hasn't been out for very long. It's not to say that I'm more interested in TF2 or Valorant than I am Overwatch, because I still loved watching Overwatch. But to me, Overwatch was more of a game to occasionally play and mostly watch and analyze, whereas the other two, I really enjoyed playing them as well. So the point there being that I will occasionally still play Overwatch on stream, but probably not anything like the rate that I was previously. The thing that I still want to fucking do, though, is that solo queue idea that I came up with a while ago, where I solo queue off stream and then rebroadcast the solo queuing so that none of you fuckers can stream snipe me, all right? Because that fucking tanks my SR. I don't even want to hear it from you guys right now, okay? I don't want to hear your fucking Keck W's and your green squares and your actual plat player Omega lols. You guys have rolled my SR over the years. Rolled it. Listen, I didn't give a shit at the time, but I know for a fact that there were stream sniping groups in the BPL Discord and the Avast Discord to tank my SR. I know it, I've seen screenshots of it, and I didn't give a shit because I don't care about my SR. But I know they happened, okay? Don't even bullshit me right now. They happened. So, anyway, the point being, I would quite like to have a solo queue experience that's offline where I see where I actually am at, how good I actually am at Overwatch if I just played purely off stream. Now, I also haven't played Overwatch for like 6 months. So I probably actually am gold right now. But if I play a little bit and get back into it, maybe we'll do that again.